Hello, everyone. I'm back here again. We give God the glory for keeping us alive and healthy. There's a question in my heart that I really want to ask parents, especially. Do you really know your duty over your children? Do you really understand your purpose over your children? Hmm. We are training our children as if they belong to us. Excuse me. We are training our children as if we know where they are going. Some of us are training our children because we want them to turn out the way not the way God want them to turn out. And I want to say, do you really know these children that you are training? Because we give them anything, everything, without defining the purpose of God in their life, without understanding their journey. Have we forgotten that we are co-parenting with God? They are seeds. And to him or herself, let me tell you, these children have challenges that they are going through. Do you even know what your children are going through? Your son or your daughter that locked him or herself up in the room, refused to come and sit where everybody is sitting. Have you asked yourself what is going on in the child mind? What's the child? Have you tried to reach out to your children? Both the young, the teenager, and the young adult. Some of us are living our life as if we don't need these children or we don't want these children to prosper in the way of God. Our children cannot come to us to talk to us because we are too harsh. We are not calm. And most of us are worried, too worried about little things you can take to God in prayer. Little things that we can take to God in prayer, and God will handle it. Some of us are even tired because you have a child in your hand, you have always been worried about the child from when the child was born, and now the child is a teenager or even going to be a young adult, and you are still worried. Have you ever thought about it? Okay, let me even take this matter to God. There are a lot of ways which you can help your children. A lot of ways which God can help you with those children to make them align with the purpose of God, not with your purpose. Because a lot of us, all we just want is, okay, for example, everybody's making money from coding. Then the next thing you want your child to go for coding. Is that what the child wants? Is that the plan of God for the child? Some of us are bringing up children that when they leave our home, they will never look back. We are not creating memories, good memories that these children will remember when they leave your house. Your children are not seeing you praying for them, waking up in the night and say, oh, their mother praying for them, their father praying for them. So that when they leave the house, they can emulate such model, such example in their life. Some of us didn't have both parents praying. We have one of our parents. My dad loves to pray. He's the one, and that's who is supposed to be in charge of the house. The father, the priest. When I got married, I began to pray as if my life depended on it. I don't know where the idea comes from. I just feel that this world is where you cannot live without hearing God. We can't without you talking to God on daily basis. On daily basis, I can't tell you how many things God has averted. He has shown me ahead before they happen. Then why I pray, He averts them over my children, over my home. And some of us wake up as if we are God ourselves. We know everything. We step out into this dangerous world as if nothing can happen to me. Sometimes when people say someone have an accident, you see young people dying as if, you know, you now ask yourself, why didn't God? People say, it's God. It is not God, though. Our God don't do evil. It is the enemy and Satan that are working together. And as a child of God, the Lord will show you before those things happens to you. But when you are not sensitive, one, you don't have where you meet God, where you pray, where you talk to Him, where you ask Him questions. Nobody is saying you should pray like Baba Deboye or Oyedepo or Arome Osai or Pastor Matthew Murakinyo. Nobody is saying you should pray like them. But start praying. If you know you really love these children, can you just please pray for these children? There's so many things out there your children will not be able to withstand if you don't pray for them. I'll tell you two stories. A child got himself in a trouble, got arrested, put in prison, and the parents said, good, maybe he will learn in the prison. So by the time he will come out, he would have learned one or two things. But they didn't pray about it. While the boy was in the prison, he was molested. One thing led to another, the boy died. They called the parents to come and pick the body of their son. Another family had the same situation. They sent their son to prison, but they began to pray. They joined group of prayer warriors. They began to pray for the boy. Why? He said that God will speak to the boy. The boy will learn his lesson, but he will know that he will never do this again. And truly, because of the prayer that was going on for that same boy, he encountered Christ and realized his mistake. When he came out, he began to replan his journey. He went to university, he furthered his education. What happened? Prayer. One wasn't praying, they wanted him to learn his lesson, and the devil made use of that opportunity because they weren't praying. The boy died because parents weren't Christian. They weren't praying. They don't know what to do. The other family, they were Christians. They prayed excessively. Every day they were praying for this boy. how he will encounter Christ, how he will find Christ. And indeed, he did. He came out, he realized his mistake, and he began to do what God wanted him to do. What is the difference here? Prayer. Your children are going in the wrong way. Write out the list of prayers and begin to pray for that child. Begin to pray, even if it's your fault. Begin to pray and stop feeling guilty. Begin to pray for your children. I listened to a testimony. A girl was saying that she started taking drug. Who introduced her to drug? A friend. She went into prostitution. Who introduced her to prostitution? A friend. She could not say no. She's still in drug up to date. She's not yet out of it. In this city where I dwell. So when you don't pray for your children, even when they have weakness, how do you want them to overcome that weakness without your prayer? Even when they are struggling, how do you want them to overcome the struggling, the challenges? When you don't pray for them, it means you have thrown them out there for the lion to devour them, Satan. If you have challenges with your children, pray. Keep praying until you get the answer of what you want. Just keep praying for these children. The experience we had while growing up, we were streetwise. A lot of our children are not streetwise. They don't know how to respond to some questions on how to respond to some friends because that lady could not say no. She was initiated to drug at the age of 28. You'll be expecting that, oh, she's an adult. How come? Why? She doesn't know difference. It is not about age. She had someone who could overpower her, who could convince her. She started taking drugs. The same person introduced her to prostitution. At 28, you would think your daughter or your son is mature enough to know what they're supposed to do. It doesn't work that way. You must sit with these children and lecture them about drugs, about friends, how to say no, how to stand on their no. No matter how many times the person keeps coming or the friend keeps coming, how not to be influenced with friends around them. And introduce your children to Christ. Even when they don't accept the Christ, keep praying that they will have encounter that will lead them to Christ. When they have encounter with Christ, He made the journey easy for you and them. They will be praying wherever they are. You will be praying where you are, and it will work. And parents, don't forget pattern. Don't forget you're supposed to sow seeds on behalf of your children. Place it on the altar. A altar that fire is going on. All altars are not Christ's altar. Sow seed every month for your children. Seed for speed. Seed for protection. It does not have to be a lot of money. It doesn't have to. There are some things that prayer might not be able to solve, that it is your seed that will solve it. It is your service in church that will solve it. It is your fasting that will solve it. So everything has what they do in our life. Your tithe has its own part it plays in your life. Altars especially, just keep sowing it on that altar where you worship God. The altar will be fighting altars for you on behalf of your children. The altars will be destroying things that you don't even know, except God open your eyes to see it. Be connected to God so that your children can turn out well. You cannot train these children alone if God is not in it. It is going to be stressful. A lot of challenges are going on around the world. Bring Christ into your boat. Bring Christ into your ship. Let Him help you out. Some of you, you have trained your children well from the beginning, and suddenly around the line, the child will just change. becoming what you least expected. A challenge has come. If you have been sowing seed on the altar for these children, prayers, you have taught them how to fast. You are fasting on their behalf. You are calling God on them. Before that challenge will come, God will reveal to you. And you will pray and it will be averted. If the challenge comes, it might be that you want them to encounter Him. And they will go through the process smoothly. It will not harm them. It will not harm you. Trust God. Do the right thing for your children, especially when they are young, so that when they are getting older, you will have rest. When they are getting older, you will have rest. David was a man of prayer. He's a man after God's heart. Absalom was not. Ammon was not. They are all his children. Keep praying for your children. I beg you, keep praying for your children. A lot of people are losing their children when they are supposed to enjoy the children. These children, you are sending them abroad, out of your sight, and you think that is what they need. Did you seek God's face before you send them out? The country you are sending them to, did you seek God's face? Did He tell you that's where you want them to be? So when you lose them, what do you want to tell God? Did He tell you? You want to send a child to a particular school. What did you seek the face of God? It is not normal. Because of what make abnormal, normal, abnormal. It is a normal thing for you to seek the face of God. Everything concerning those children, because they are not yours. They are seed that you need to plant on a fertile land. You water it from time to time. How do you water it? Talking to them, praying for them, guiding them. There are rooms for mistakes, but there are mistakes your children will make that will cost them their future. That's the one we're going to be praying that God will always take away their part. But when you don't pray, how? How do you want to know what's going on? You are a parent, you're supposed to be a prophetess or a prophet. You're supposed to see what your children are not telling you. We are supposed to see what the children are not saying. We're supposed to look through your son's eyes and your daughter's eyes and see the pain that is inside and call them. What is going on? Let them know that you can reach them through the Spirit. Let them know that you can see what they are doing. Whatever God can see, I can see. Let the children know that God is with them everywhere they go to. Your child is in pain, you don't know. He's in abroad, he's depressed, you don't know. There's no signal. You are not catching up any signal anywhere to let you know that this child is not doing well. We are spirit before we became body. So you must live in spirit. Be sensitive in the spirit. Let your antenna always be open so that you don't lose the child that God has given you. It's not about losing to death, losing to the world. You can lose your children to the world if you're not careful. Some of us, the things we even buy for these children, see some girls that are wearing bob short out. 10 years. You expose them, their body. Then when they grow up, they don't want to wear anything that covers their body. You begin to get angry. You already introduce it to them. Please, parents, there is a lot of work to be done intentionally about our children. Be intentional. Challenges will come. No matter what you do, it's part of who we are. Challenges is to come, test us. Sometimes challenges come because of our mistake. Challenges come because of our part. Challenges come because of what we carry or what our children carry. But how do you handle it when it comes? How do you handle it? The way you handle it will determine how your relationship with God is and how the challenges will come out well and beautiful, and you will learn what you need to learn, and your children will learn what they need to learn. It is how close you are to God. It will guide you all the way. All the way. All the way. The battle is tough, but God has always promised to be with us. He said, call unto me in time of trouble, I will answer you. Jeremiah 3 said, call unto me, I will answer and show you great and mighty thing you know not. Some of you don't even know anything about your children. Your children are covenant children. They have a replica in the Bible. Are they Daniel? Are they Esther? When God told me I'm Deborah, I sat down with the book of Judges to study who Deborah is, to know who I am. Deborah is a wife. She's the female judge in Israel. She was a prophetess, an intercessor, a war leader. I had to sit and study, okay, who is this person that God said I am? He told me who my son and my daughter is. I had to sit down and study who they are to know how to train my children. Who are your children? Are they aligning with the purpose of God? Who are they? Some of us are just after money. Let the child go and work and make money. We send them abroad. They are settled. God will ask you. He will ask you the seed I gave to you. How did you plant it? How did you nurture it? That is the first thing God is going to ask you. Your family. Parents, that's the first thing, your first assignment. And He's going to ask you, how did you go about it? Did you talk to me? What did I tell you about this person? What did I tell you about that person? Did you follow the instruction, or you don't even know anything about them? A blind man cannot lead himself. You are blind. Your child don't know who he is. You don't know who your child is. So how are you working? How are you working? How are you doing the things you're supposed to do for the child? You're just going with the vogue. You're going with the, this is what is in vogue. This is what is reigning. You are playing a dangerous game with the life of your children and with your own future. Because if those children are not settled, are not made, it is you that will still cry and be in pain later in life. The earlier you begin to talk to God now about who your children are, what is His plan and purpose for them, where does He want them to be, where will they base in future, what kind of woman will they marry, which family are they? There's so many questions to talk to God about our children. The young ones, the teenagers, the young adults, so many things. You will still pray for your grandchildren. You will still pray. There's so many things to do for our children. Through prayer. Through prayer, you can make their journey easy. Through prayer, you can make your own life peaceful. Through prayer, your children can stand out. Through prayer, you can stand out. Through prayer, you will have peace in the midst of battles, in the midst of challenges. You will experience peace. I'm speaking from experience. You will experience peace because you know that God is with you. He would have even pre-informed you before the whole thing starts. And some will not even manifest because you have prayed about it. Seek the face of God for yourself, for your spouse, for your children, for your siblings. Seek the face of God. Seek the face of God. Let's take the bringing up of our children. The season we are now is a season of battle, spiritual battle. Devil is working with all that he has, and they are targeting children. I saw a video where one woman with some children, they say, we belong to Satan. In Africa, in Nigeria, we belong to Satan. And some of us will say, we are not bold enough to talk about Christ. You are ashamed of Christ. He said, I will honor who honor me. If you are ashamed of me, he said, I will be ashamed of you. The worshiper of Satan. Little children were there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They were singing that they belong to Satan. Ọmọ èṣù làwọn. And those ones are waiting for your children out there to convince them And they will be able to convince them. Because you are not training your own to be able to convince them. They know who they are serving. Does your own children know who they are serving? They will convince them, and you will be amazed, and your children will follow them like robots. Are your children talking about Christ? Are they ashamed of Jesus? Do they want to feel among? Because let me just feel among. Or are they standing out to say, I am a Christian and that I will be? Children of Satan coming out, telling they are children of Satan. Let your children come out and speak for Christ. Once they begin to speak for Christ, they have won the heart of Christ. He will go extra mile for them. Parents, sit up and be prayerful. It is a journey of prayer. It's not a journey of fashion. It's not a journey of I want to make money. Nobody say you shouldn't make money, but it's a journey of prayer. Where we are now, you must be spiritually sensitive. See before they see, and know before they know, because that is who your God is. That is who our God is. He said we will do more than he did when he was on earth. Have you been able? Some of you just sleep. You don't even have revelations. You're not even seeing anything. Physically, you are blind. Spiritually, you are blind. The journey is dark. You just follow. You follow. You are just influenced here and there. You don't even know what's going on. You just wake up and just do things. Somebody said this is it and you follow. This one come and say this is it. You can't even decide. You are indecisive. You are confused. When you don't have Christ, when you don't seek the face of God, that is how you will always be. May the Lord help you. May the Lord help us all so that we can train these children well and put them in a path in which God wants them to be. I thank the Almighty God for this minute that I'm speaking with you, because it's a privilege that I'm speaking with you. And I ask God to help you to find Him. When you find God, you know He's a beautiful God. He's enjoyable. There's peace. Even in the midst of battle, there is peace, because you are sure of the battle will not swallow you up. You are so sure. May the Lord help us all, parents, in Jesus' name. May the Lord strengthen us, fight our battles for us, give us hope where there is no hope, send help to us where we don't expect help, raise angelic assistants for us, go before our children and go behind them, be a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. Arise and fight for us like no man, and so shall it be in the name of Jesus. Thank you for listening. I love you all.